Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Forgotten Games. My name is Fringlish, and today we're looking at the Dead Unending game, currently available on Steam in its demo version, the one I have currently here, 0.95. Now I've got to start this video by actually putting out an apology. We got asked by the developer of this game, Tylario, to basically do a video, give our impressions, a first look on this game. And Reaper put it on the Discord, and we thought it was a great idea. We're always happy to do it. But then Reaper deleted the email that the request came with. So we have no way to reply to him, so I hope he sees this video. We're terribly sorry about not answering you about this, but I hope this is a good surprise. Now, I've downloaded the game and played for about 2.5 hours. Initially, it gave me sort of a vibe of Project Zomboid. However, it is a lot less complicated than that game, and in a pretty good way. It's one that you can play a quick run through and not have to worry continuously about exactly what's going to go wrong in the next couple of minutes, and it feels like you can actually win. Now, let's jump into the game, and I can show you a little bit about what it is. It's still a bit rough. Okay, I tell a lie, it's still rather rough, but we'll see more once we're in. So again, I've played for about 2.5 hours. You play this sort of broken humanoid with absolutely no hip control. As you basically survive a train crash, and lo and behold, it's zombies. Well, that was pretty much to be expected. You can build bases in these sort of camp zones. I'm unsure if there's more than one, I've only found one. But once you do, it's quite easy to get it set up. Now, the main meat of the game is fighting these zombies, exploring the cities, and then developing your base. Now, there's a couple of issues with each one of those. I'll get to it in a scooch, but let's start with the zombies. One, the zombies are extremely uncoordinated. They don't chase you for long, and the zombies seem to be disinterested in you until you get really, really close. Now, hitboxes, because of everybody being sort of jelly humans with no spines or proper hip locations, can be a little bit dicey. You're not sure if you're hit or if you're going to be hit, and sometimes you get hit when you clearly shouldn't be. However, you're really not in much danger from the zombies, and I think that's something that really has to be addressed, especially if you add difficulty levels. The only reason I'm going to be hit by a zombie in this game, to be honest, is if I don't pay attention. And now, while not paying attention is a distinct possibility, this is me after all, getting hit by once or twice isn't going to kill you. I think you need 3 hits in order to be killed. Currently there only seems to be one type of zombie, so that is a drawback. However, this does make it a very satisfying game, as you do feel like you are Rambo. Or the zombie equivalent, therefore, of. I'm not a big fan of zombie films or games, so I haven't really played that many. So that's the zombie element of the game. Okay. Now we get to the sort of exploration element. So you have this massive map. I don't know how much I've currently explored. I don't know how much there currently is. It seems to be extremely large. I don't think I'll reach the end. And you have to go around collecting items. As you can see, I've played for a little bit, to be honest. 2 hours. So I've got things like baseball bat, one of the first weapons I picked up, which was annoying. Mainly because the zombies have no rhyme or reason for their health. Sometimes you can hit them 3 times and they'll be fine, sometimes they get knocked down in just 1. As you can see, there's loads of zombies here and I'm just walking straight through them. I've also picked up a compass which helps me figure out north is, but I don't know, it's nice to have, but I don't really see why that's important. A lot of these sort of items that you pick up, sometimes you need to figure out their use yourself, and that is probably a problem in of itself. Okay, let's see if we can clear out this gym area. And I'll see what I can loot. I've also picked up things like backpacks, which basically expanded inventory. To move something over, you just sort of click and drag it. It's fairly innovative and intuitive. There's not many problems I can see with actually using the inventory. Okay, there's some food. Lovely. And the survival elements, or your needs, are actually fairly simple. You need energy. Well, that you lose by swinging, so you can't just sort of swing randomly forever. You will eventually run out, but it replenishes very quickly. The health as well replenishes perfectly easy. And hunger, you just need a little bit of food, and you can keep your hunger topped off. Now, the exploration can be a little bit clunky. I suppose we're going into the second problem. which is the fact that you can spin around your camera. That's not too bad. But trying to do it in the middle of exploration can be an exercise in futility. If you're trying to specifically fight a zombie, you can't move the camera around because of how janky the hitboxes are. You just end up losing your way completely. I think I've already been here, which is why there's nothing. Nothing but zombies, that is. But the whole aim is to collect some resources. Now, it seems to be that there's food, there's junk, and then there's steel, as well as ammunition and some guns. If we go to the zombie guide, I think I'll probably need to pull that out. Hang on. Let me put the compass in, and let me move the baseball bat in. So I'll pull it out of the backpack so I can read it. Should be pointed out in this game there is no pause. While you're constructing, or while you're reading things, there is no pause, so make sure you're somewhere somewhat safe. There's a zombie coming on the left, so you can see there's a couple of different weapons, but so far they seem to be pretty similar, at least in their usage, and they all use the same ammo. Now, guns, it's always fun. They seem to one-shot the enemy, the zombies, and you can just clear your way through completely. However, ammunition is definitely a premium, so while it is fun to feel like John Wick clearing an area, does attract more zombies, and it's not necessarily the best thing to do. So thankfully we have a trusty old machete. I've been trying to find an item that I haven't looted yet. Oh, there we go. Ammunition. So the things on the map, sometimes a bit difficult to find. And again, I'm just juking people. Oh, I think there's some steel in there. Yep. Sometimes the items are quite difficult to see. That's, I think, another one of my complaints about this. And as you can see, I just ran straight through them. Zombies need a little bit better hitboxing. Let's head back, and then we can go to the base building, the final part of this game, and I can explain why this game is... I think it is good, simple, but it needs more, desperately needs more. So running back, I can see that I have a little sort of item here, a little star that tells me where I need to go to. So just running through, and we'll get to the base building. The one thing I also find the shame is that none of the sort of buildings or things are interactable. You can't chop down trees for wood or junk. You can't search through shelves. The items are either there or they're not. While I understand the limitations, it does seem a little bit of a shame. Okay, so now we get to the base building. Once you pick up a toolbox, which you find relatively early, you can start doing base building. And this is where I think the game needs a lot more complexity. The fact that it doesn't pause is, to be honest, a drawback for me, because I enjoy perfectly planning out my base and orientating things properly. That's why there's a mishmash of fencing, because when you're under attack, you don't have time to sit and plan. But I understand the decision of it. It's not meant to be a perfect base building. It's supposed to be you cobble it together while you have some spare time and try and survive. But the base building as it is, because it's quite simple, actually makes most of the running redundant. Once you get enough steel and junk to start off with, you basically don't need to go and explore anymore. Now, the reason for this is actually one of the strengths of the game. Everything can be accomplished a couple of different ways. You're not railroaded into one area. You can either explore to find a load of things, like blueprints, and which we'll get into later, and weapons, or you can make them. So first things first is sort of the procedural level up system. So right now you see I'm level 8. Level 8 is the max in the demo. I think I was level 7 when I started. But you unlock different buildings as you level up. So you do need to kill zombies. There is some idea behind that. And when you're building, it's a little bit janky, I have to say. You need to click on the square you want to build on, and then you can choose one of the different items. So you see we have barbed wire, we have cook pits, we have tent. Tent is for saving. A cook pit basically gives you unlimited food. Once you've got one of those, you're not weirdly worried. You can just sort of tank up. And the main reason why you're not worried at all is sort of the big drawback, I think, of this base building. There's no durability on these buildings. It's not like they're going to need maintenance. It's not like too many zombies will eventually break it down, or at least I haven't seen it. I did see a zombie, I think, jump over a fence, but that was near an open door and it was a bit weird, so I'm not sure what happened there. But you could effectively sit back and wait. Now, I do like the building system in the levels, the way you build the buildings, because you have the first levels here, sort of the walls, and then you can click on it and you can upgrade. This is a basic fence. If I want, I can upgrade it with 2 more junk to a strong fence, although again there's no hit points, I'm not sure why, or a tall fence. Now as far as I can tell, you don't want to build the tall fences ever, because then the guns can't shoot over them. So I'm a bit confused about why they're the same. They also cost the same. I can understand maybe if you can put tiers or walls in the future, but on the fences, doesn't really make much sense. There we go, as you can see the campsite just gave me more food, and my hunger's basically never gone down. So I gained junk from the zombies, and the reason why I said you need to gather a little bit of steel is in the procedurally sort of generated items, first of all you can build a sort of a base site, which is your sort of level 1 building, which allows you to build level 2. Then you have level 2 buildings here, which include walls and floors, which I presume you can eventually build a whole house, which will be interesting if you can, actually build it. Guns, which as you can see I've got 3, that seems to be more than enough. A light post, I don't really see the point on. Gotta be honest, it's not like the guns need light to aim, and maybe attract zombies. A signal tower, which I have built one before, then I destroyed it because it brings in the entire horde, which can be interesting if you want to just sit there and farm, which as I said before is perfectly easy to do, because again there's no durability. And then a workbench. That's your level 2 building to go up to level 3s. I've got one built over here, and as you can see I can now build what's known as a processor, because I have enough steel. Although I require level 10, so I can't do it now. I presume the processor ends up turning junk into steel. And the thing is, with an infinite source of junk from all the zombies, and that being turned into steel inside my base, I never need to go and explore again, and I think that's a real shame. There's no unique items, because if needed I can construct a weapons blueprint at level 18. I can also create a drill, which refines metals from the ground, automatically taking up steel. And then finally I can cure the zombie attack at level 50. And this, even here at level 16, will create a drill that drills junk straight from the earth. It seems like the game needs a little bit more. Right now that's all I need to do. If I wanted to, I'm done. I just wait, I build the drill, once I can level up. I build the drill, I get the junk coming in, I get the steel coming in, and then I no longer need to explore. There's no drive to continue. It's not like I can customize my base, find more survivors out in the wilderness, which I think would be a really interesting twist. And the base itself is quite small in scope. It's not like I can build up a community, which I think would be absolutely amazing, although with a one-person development team, what they've done is a pretty good base. But it is only the basics, it is only a framework. Either way, I look forward to coming back to it once it's actually out, and having a look at what more elements we have. There are so many directions this game can go, but right now it just seems like, well, as you can see, I don't need it to gather any food. I've got junk coming towards me with all the zombies. I mean, I may need to go out and grab it, but as you can see, I can just run through the zombies all the time. I've got the junk, I've got the steel. There's nothing really more I can do except spin around like a mannequin. Finally, we'll have a look at the different settings. As you can imagine, there's not a lot of options. The fact that they've put so many languages in already for a one-person developer is quite frankly, well, kudos to them. But there are no graphical options, there are no other options apart from music and sound. One final thing is that there's definitely some more points to add. Customization, there are a load of options. I mean, seriously, a load of outfit options, which are very fun to see. And you can change the different styles, the different colours. You can even go completely shadow by the looks of it. Although there are some very visible bugs, such as the fact that this arrow doesn't work. So you can only go one way. But in the very least, you do have some graphical options to keep you amused, so you can get something that reasonably looks like the person you think might survive in a zombie apocalypse. Anyway, I've been Fringlish, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, or at least it's been informative? Informative? I hope it's been interesting. Make sure to have a look at the Steam page, if the link will be down below. It is currently free, so give it a try out yourself. It's a very small download, so you lose nothing. Just try it, judge for yourself. If you're a fan of Project Zomboid, but want something a little bit simpler, this might be it. I've been Fringlish, thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day. Toodles.